Welcome back. You are watching How They Changed, and here are part 2 about American Gladiators. The events were designed to favor contestants. Courses like joust, assault, and others set a striking visual image, men and women of average size being dwarfed by the attitudinal, beefy gladiators. But according to Askin, the games were actually designed to minimize their size and strength advantages so the contestants had a realistic shot at winning. We tried to get events that gave the guy who was 5'8" and 170 pounds an equal chance to either meet or beat the gladiator, he said. The Gladiators went on strike. According to Nitro Clark's 2009 autobiography, Gladiator, a true story of roids, rage, and redemption, he and several of the original gladiators weren't seeing a nickel from the 75 licensed items like toys, Nintendo games, and apparel that were making the Goldwyn Company millions of dollars. Happy to get the work, they had signed away their likeness rights when they were hired. Goldwyn, however, was unwilling to renegotiate and largely recast the show in its 4th season. Though it ran several more years, ratings never recovered. Ryan Seacrest hosted a kids' version. With a massive soundstage and multiple sets, producers wanted to monetize their investment even further by introducing a kid component to the franchise. Gladiators 2000 ran in 1994 and was co-hosted by Ryan Seacrest. In addition to competitors being substantially smaller, it also introduced a cerebral component. They were quizzed on knowledge of everything from history to hygiene. By introducing an educational element, stations would be able to fulfill their necessary quota of informational programming. The show ran for 2 years before viewers cried uncle. It evolved into dinner theater. After the success of a 150-city tour that pit gladiators from the series against local athletes in the early 1990s, investors decided to tweak the franchise for the dinner theater crowd. American Gladiators Orlando Live debuted in 1995 in front of a crowd of roughly 1,300 at a Kissimmee Auditorium down the road from Disney World. As contestants got pummeled with tennis balls, spectators could enjoy a sweat-splattered meal for $39.95. A revival may still happen. In July 2014, producer Arthur Smith announced he was working on a darker, more intense, more serious revival of the series following a failed 2007 to 2008 attempt co-hosted by Hulk Hogan. Smith planned on taking a post-apocalyptic approach reminiscent of the Hunger Games. And no spandex, he told TV Guide. Spandex has left the building. Joe Theismann was involved. Legendary Super Bowl winning quarterback Joe Theismann was actually part of the show at the beginning. He served as both co-host and the announcer for the first half of season 1. He exited the show quickly, and most fans barely remember he was ever a part of it. There were several different foreign versions. The American part of American Gladiators wasn't an exclusive part of the show. The show spawned several different versions in other counties: Australia, Denmark, Finland, Nigeria, South Africa, Sweden, and the United Kingdom. Versions in Spain, France, and Poland were planned, but scrapped during production. The show was also translated into Spanish and Japanese and shown in Mexico and Japan, respectively. There were tons of steroids. In an era where steroids were barely on the social radar, the world of American Gladiators was filled with people trying to get the edge on their competition. Dan Lee Clark, better known to many as the Gladiator Nitro, wrote a tell-all book in 2009 that detailed much of the drug abuse. He described a violent, roid rage-fueled fight with fellow gladiator Laser that left him with scars on his face. He also said they had doctors who would help them take steroids the right way. Yikes! Olympic champions competed. In seasons 5 and 6, special contests were created called the Gold Medal Challenge. As you would expect from the name, the challengers were made up of athletes who had won gold medals in previous Olympic Games. They come from a wide variety of sports, as boxers, downhill skiers, speed skaters, gymnasts, volleyball players, figure skaters, track and field stars, and basketball players all competed. The men's and women's division both competed for grand prizes of $10,000. And that's all for today. Leave a like and subscribe for more.